Karen. Probably most of you who are watching this are going to know that, but I don't know how far-reaching this is going to get, so in case you didn't, now you do. I thought it might be fun to show you some food that I'm hoping to bring on the trail. I understand that I can't eat this every meal on the trail, but I am very, very, very much about eating all natural and organic, and the idea of eating a ramen bomb every night is like horrifying to me, but I commit to you, I will at least have one. I assume my family is going to have to send me care packages every once in a while, at least if nothing else, to send me sneakers. I'm very particular about my sneakers. I imagine we all are, but I'm going to need new sneakers every once in a while. And when they're sending me sneakers, I want them to send me like 10 meals. So at least sometimes I'm eating something healthy. I thought it would be fun for you to see what I'm going to put together. I'm going to have them all made up ahead of time, like this, so my family can just take what, I'll have them in a resupply at home, and they can stick them in the box and send them to me. Let me start with what I bought. Okay, so I love this stuff, right? It's all freeze-dried foods. I got sausage, chicken. Oh, and I'm probably going to call it dry chicken or dry sausage because my granddaughter named it, and she loves to eat it dry. But anyway, she does. She eats it, and so who's going to stop her? There are a lot of freeze-dried brands out there. These people caught my attention. These people made me think this is the brand I want to use. I started by buying one container of chicken. It wasn't bad. You know what? It tastes like chicken. You know what it doesn't taste like? Flavorful chicken. It's chicken. So that's why all this other stuff. And I said, all right, well, let's see what else they have. They have dry beef. We got dry beef. We got dry sausage. We got dry corn. We got dry raspberries. I went with Mother Earth products on some other things. Why? Because I didn't want a number 10 can of some other things. I did not need a number 10 can of tomato powder, so I got this tiny little one from Mother Earth products, and I really like them too. And then I'm actually going to use just some regular ingredients from the house. You don't need to buy freeze-dried onions. I got little onions from my pantry, chili powder and all that. And you'll see as I put these things together. I'm also going to do a lot of instant oatmeal. I know there'll be plenty of oatmeal on the trail, but is there organic oatmeal on the trail? I can't be sure. I also bought some organic instant potatoes. Powdered milk, which I know, hypocrite, it's not organic, but it didn't come in time. So I'm going to demonstrate with this. The organic stuff is whole milk. Every calorie counts, right? So the reason why every calorie counts is because the average thru hiker will burn about 5,000 or more calories per day. I have to get calories. I mean, there are people that will just bring jars of olive oil just for the calories, right? And also, women my age need their calcium. If I just put a tablespoon of dry milk in every one of my meals, it can't hurt. I've seen a lot of videos, and I know that there's hikers that, they resupply in town, and I'm going to be doing it too, and they pick up a pouch of chicken. And that's fine. I have nothing against that. It's just, it's heavy, right? Between the packaging and the chicken. And this freeze-dried stuff literally weighs next to nothing. Best part is when it's freeze-dried, you don't lose any of its nutritional value. At least that's what they tell me. What I'm hoping I can do here, and for all you seasoned thru hikers who are laughing out loud right now, humor me, first time thru hiker. I've only tested this in the field on a few days of backpacking at a time. None of this is gourmet. I like to pride myself on being a really good cook. Well, this is going to go into a pot with a cup of boiling water. Then the heat's going off because I'm not wasting fuel while it sits there and bubbles for 15 minutes. It's going to go in a koozie. I'm going to add ingredients to perk it up, spice it up. It's not going to simmer. I'm not going to be deglazing a pan. None of that. The other thing is everybody says, well, what about, the prepackaged meals, Mountain House? They're delicious. Yes, they are. Are they 100% all natural and organic? I thought this might be a better way. It's slightly cheaper. If I'm being completely honest, not a whole lot cheaper. So making it myself is a little cheaper, but because these are not cheap, it's not super cheap. But at least I know what I'm eating. I know what I'm getting. And I've tested them all, and I know what it's going to taste like, and I believe I can tolerate this over the trail. Because keeping in mind, this is only when my family actually sends me a care package. It's not every resupply. One thing that I did figure out in my R&D, pasta takes too long. I can't take pasta and reconstitute it by taking it off the heat right away. What does reconstitute quickly? Ramen noodles, as you might know. These are just not top ramen noodles. These are, organic Lotus Foods. And these are rice ramen. For me, these are going to be spaghetti. Why don't I show you a spaghetti recipe? Seeing these papers. I'm not gonna get into it. I am in a personal war with plastic. Yes, you're gonna see plastic and you're gonna be screaming hypocrite. Trust me, I'm already yelling at myself. But somehow you can't escape it in this world. I am just trying to do my best. If I can use something a second time, that's a win. More than a second time, let's have a ticker tape parade. I found these paper bags. They weigh just slightly under what a plastic baggie would weigh. I'm gonna assemble the recipe in here. I tape it down. It says spaghetti, and it says without beef, and I'll tell you why. And then it tells me how much water I'm gonna have to add. And even though it's freeze-dried, there's some grease, and it's soaked through the bags. Now, I figure some of these meals may not get to me for 5 months, and I don't know how well that's gonna fare. But if I put the dry ingredients in the paper, that should work. Another thing I noticed, these ramen, these edges, super sharp. So I took these out backpacking and the edges broke holes in a plastic baggie. What I'm trying, this is all new hiker stuff, right? Take the square, and obviously they've decided that this bag is strong enough for their ramen, right? And just crush it up. I'm gonna be crushing it up anyway, and guess what? It'll cook easier this way. So now I've crushed up my little ramen noodles, okay? My spaghetti. And I'm gonna get myself a bag. All right. I will pour my little ramen noodles in here. So now we've got the ramen in the bag. 2 tablespoons of tomato powder. Ta-da! Throw that in. Okay. And then, let's see, only a teaspoon of tomato flakes. They all after you reconstitute them, they become much more. And a pinch, because it's only 1 serving, a pinch of garlic powder. I'm also going to throw in a pinch, don't want to make that unedible, a pinch of hot pepper flakes. Give it some snazz. And I had read somewhere, don't ask me where, there's a new nutrient that thru hikers don't get enough of typically, and they can actually get sick because of it. But this nutrient is found in beans. So since I love beans, we're going to be adding beans. So I have 3 kinds. I have black beans, kidney beans, and great northern beans. What I'm going to do today is throw some great northern beans in with this spaghetti. We can use the other ones in different recipes. 1/4 cup of the beans. Throw those in. That is it for this, for dry ingredients, right? So there's my dry ingredients. I call them dry. They're all dry, right? But no beef is in here because, as we know, it's slightly greasy, and I'll show you next what I'm going to do about that. And now it's going to be noisy. I'll try to talk over it. I'm going to fold it like this. Fold it, fold it, fold it tight so that the dry ingredients don't make their way out, because, they will. And then once I get it into a nice flat little package that will pack well, I'm going to throw just enough masking tape on there, and then with a thin tip Sharpie spaghetti, 1 cup of water, and then I'm going to put no beef. I want to remember that there's no beef in this. If people are interested, I can put the recipes down in the notes for the beef, because again, I'm in a war with plastic. These are like my favorite cashews, in case you're looking for amazing tasting cashews. Get them from Walmart. They're amazing. What's also amazing is these bags. I use these bags for everything. If I buy Italian sausage and I'm only going to use some of it, I can put the rest in here and put it in the freezer. If I'm pounding chicken for a recipe, forget the gallon-sized Ziplocs. They bust open, and y'all know it. But these hold together way better. So I might put a piece of chicken, I'll put a piece of chicken in here, pound it, and the bag holds together. Can bust open, but way better, depends on how aggressive you are, way better than a Ziploc. Get the little thingy out of the way. Just scoop, right? Now, I'm not gonna scoop them all in here, you get the point. But then, squeeze the air out, and voila. Now, it's at least 2 uses, right? And I can carry this, it can pack down nice, it's sturdy, Boom. This is what I've decided to take with me. I know there's 1,000 options. Everybody has a preference. I am using the titanium, the Tokes Titanium 750 milligrams. I have determined this is the size that I will need from what I want to do out on the trail. So what I'm going to do is, let's say that recipe calls for like a cup and a quarter of water. I'm going to put a cup and a quarter of water. I'm going to boil it. As soon as I finish boiling it, I'm taking it off the heat because I do not want to carry more fuel than I have to. Then I rip open my bag, I stick it in there. I'm going to have to add some beef from the other container, cover it up, and stick it in my koozie. The koozie is not here yet. That's coming. But I am using a koozie that I saw on Garage Grown Gear. I bought the larger size, and I can put the fuel on top and it'll all fit. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see when it gets here. It's about 10 minutes. Everything is rehydrated and still warm. This is 3.5 ounces in case you're wondering with the lid. I also have it's 0.7 is the spoon from Tokes Titanium. I can eat right out of here, right? But now you're wondering, how are you gonna wash that thing? Well, this is like, when I learned, I was like grossed out, and it's a dirty little secret of hiking, and it's like some things you just don't want to talk about hiking, right? It isn't as bad as it sounds. I'm going to tell you, it sounds horrifying, but it's really not that bad because I've done it now many times. Basically, take some fresh water, put it in. I mean, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. You can also stir it, gets the spoon clean, and then you drink it. It's clean. You can wipe it out with a bandana or something. And you are thinking, how are you going to carry all this, Karen? And I know you seasoned through hikers are saying, that's gonna weigh a ton. I know, like, I guess you carry like 3 or 4 days worth of food at a time. You know what? Let me try it. Let's see how far I get. First, the waterproof, odor-proof bag. This is OPSAC. It is bigger than my bag, but oh well. I will be putting all my little meals in here. I'm also going to be bringing some other things that you're not seeing. Instant coffee, because I'm a coffee snob, peanut butter, and other meals that you're not seeing. So this will then, all right, because we want odor-proof for the bears. We're going to try and keep the bears away. And then we're going to put that in there. And then this is also supposedly waterproof. It is ultralight sacks. And it will, and I know this is a very heavy carabiner. We'll worry about that later. And then we will hang it where we're supposed to hang it. Different recipes that I've tried. I've got a chili recipe, shepherd's pie, both with beef and a shepherd's pie with chicken. I'm toying with a fajita, haven't gotten there yet. Oh, and then breakfast is gonna be majority oatmeal with chopped walnuts and raspberries. That is where a scoop of the milk will go into too. Anything that I am making with the mashed potatoes will also get a scoop of the dry milk. How heavy is all this? So chili is 3.81 ounces. That spaghetti that we just made, I know this one's heavier because the pasta is heavier. Probably won't get a lot of pasta on the trail. 4.53 ounces for that one. My beef shepherd's pie, that one is 3.72. Now this one had the beef in it, remember, because it's showing through the bag. My chicken shepherd's pie, I'm almost wondering if I didn't put enough food in here because this one is coming in at 2.56 ounces. Those are the recipes that I've tried. There is one recipe that I'm toying with. First pass was terrible, but I just see it in my cook's brain. I can see it working. I just have to make it work. I'm taking some Annie's. I'm going to put the macaroni aside and use it someday later in something. Use just the cheese packet. Use my milk, my ramen spaghetti, and probably some hot pepper flakes, and make a cheese sauce and make a macaroni, like an Alfredo. That's what I want to make, an Alfredo. Add some bell pepper flakes to that. I bought jalapeno flakes. OMG, these things are like super uber potent, super strong. Just opening the bag, my nose is affected. I use very little of this, but it gives it flavor, it gives it kick. So I put this in my shepherd's pie and my chili, of course. These are like amazing, and I've been putting them in my chili that I make here at home. You probably noticed I did not add salt and pepper to anything. I do like salt, love pepper. Here's my little secret. You know me. I've already told you, I'm in a war with plastics, and I'm also in a war with bringing anything new into the world. I believe that if I need something, I have it in this house somewhere. So just find it and use it. In this world of ultralight, not everything I have is going to work. Having this struggle with what am I going to put salt and pepper in? What am I going to put face wash in? What am I going to put moisturizer in? And going online and looking at all the options and seeing that, oh, this is just bringing something new into the world and I can't do it because everything goes into the landfill eventually. Don't fool yourself thinking anything's recyclable. There's my rant. One day, I'm out on my bicycle. I'm just chugging along, and what do we see? You're all seeing it. Same thing as me. Every single street, if there's a side street, it is littered with about 10 zillion nips. All of a sudden it hit me. Nips. They weigh nothing. Me. I shove a bunch in the back of my bike shirt. Bunch of nips, right? Now, these are Smirnoff. I don't love this one, and I'll tell you why. Because their caps are metal. I'm already waiting to cut my finger open with these. I'm in panic mode right now, so I grabbed these on a side street I knew they would be. The person there loves strawberry Smirnoff. But what I did find, and what I'm going to keep my eye out for, and no, I'm not going to buy them because I really don't drink a whole lot. These are Fireball. You probably recognize them, right? They weigh the exact same. Believe it or not, look at that. They look like they should weigh different. They don't. They weigh 0.37, and they hold quite a bit. Fireball ones are perfect. They're flat. They will pack better than the round one, and they've got the plastic lid, and they weigh the same. So I've got my face sunscreen. I've got my face moisturizer, my hand sanitizer. I've got one with my face wash. And I know you're thinking already, that's way too much stuff, Karen. Look at, only face I got. For what it's worth, I got to keep it looking good even on the trail. I like the Fireball better. I'm going to keep my eye out for them. But because I'm in panic mode, I grabbed these just in case. And I put my salt in one already, 2 ounces with the salt. I didn't fill it. I don't think I'm going to need that much salt. But the best part of using these nips, there's an endless supply. They don't leak, they don't break. I can have extra waiting here, so if I need them and they're sending me sneakers anyway, they can throw another one in if I need it. My first trial at getting them clean. No matter what I did, they smelled like, well, they smelled like Fireball. What finally worked, the only thing, ironically, was rubbing alcohol. So rubbing alcohol took the alcohol smell out of the bottles. What I did with all these was I just filled them with rubbing alcohol and let them sit overnight, and then I rinsed them out, and there they are. So that worked out well. This is not gourmet, but it's going to get me by, and it's going to be food that I like, and it's going to be food that I can trust because I know where it came from, and it's not going to have all the garbage and the poison, I like to call it poison, in it. You know what would be fun? After a few tries of this, we'll see if it's actually working or not. We'll soon find out. Again, new at this. Ciao.